this video, I'll be showing you how to do arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is a sequence of numbers which differ from the previous one by a constant quantity. So it can go up in 1, it can go up in 2 or 3. Looking at the question in front of us, given the series 4, 7, 10 and 13, find the 20th term. Now for this we have to first find out a few steps before we actually answer the question. So the first thing we need to know is the formula to tackle this. And the formula to tackle this question, or the first two questions, is to use this formula here, a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. A is the first term, so for this question our first term would be 4. D is the common difference in the sequence, so the common difference in this sequence is 3. Now to tackle this question, all we have to do is just insert the numbers into the formula. And if we do that, we should 4 plus 20 minus 1 multiplied by our common difference, which is 3, should give us 61. For the next question, we also do the same. So we do 4 plus our 50th term, so 50 minus 1, multiplied by a common difference, which is 3, which should give us 151. Now, for the next type of question, we get the sum of the first 10 terms. So this is a bit different, and for this you also need a different formula. And the formula for this is, n over 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. Now, it might at first look a bit difficult, but it's quite easy once you actually do it. So n again is the number in question, so the first 10 terms. So 10 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 times a, which is our first term, which is 4, plus 10 minus 1 multiplied by our common difference, which is 3, and that should give us 175. And now we also do the same for the next question. So 40 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 times 4 plus 40 minus 1 multiplied by a common difference. And that should give us 2,500. Now let's have a look at the same type of questions, but so given the series 87, 81, 75, and 69. So looking from the first question, it's a bit different because the first question went up, whereas this one is going down. So for this, our first term is A is going to be 87, and our common difference is going to be minus 6. Now, because this is an arithmetic progression type of question, the same formulas we used before still apply. So once again, we use those. So, okay, so our first term is 87 plus 12 minus 1 multiplied by a common difference, which is minus 6, and that should equal to 21. And next one is 87 again, plus this time the nth term is going to be 19. 19 minus 1 multiplied by minus 6 should give us minus 21. And now, just like as we did for the previous question, now we have to use a different type of formula because now we're asked for the sum of the first 10 terms. So the sum of the first 10 terms would be 10 over 2 multiplied by 2 times 87 plus 10 minus 1 multiplied by minus 6, which should give us 600. And again, we do that for the last question. So 20 over 2 multiplied by 2 times 87 plus 20 minus 1 multiplied by minus 6, which should also give us 600. this video, I'll be showing you how to do geometric progression, which is a sequence of numbers which increase or decrease by a multiplied number. It could be multiplied by 2, 3, 4, etc. So the first question, we're given the series 2, 6, 18, and 54. And to answer these types of questions, we need to know a few things beforehand. So the first thing we need to know is A, which is the first term, and R, which is the common ratio. So the A for this question is 2, because the first term is 2, and the common ratio is 3, as it goes up in multiples of 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18, and 18 times 3 is 54, etc. So to do the first question, we have to use the formula here in this corner, AR to the power of n minus 1. So to do that, we do 2 times common ratio, which is 3, and the nth term, which is 5 minus 1, and that should give us 162. And for the second one, we do 2 times 3, and the nth term is 10 minus 1, and our answer should be 39366. 39366. For these types of questions where we have to find the sum of the first 6 terms, we have to use a different formula. So for these types of questions, we have to use the formula here, which is A multiplied by 1 minus r to the power of n over 1 minus r. So A again is our first term, so 2 multiplied by 1 minus r, which is 3, to the power of 6 minus 1 over 1 minus 3, which should give us 728. And for the last question, sum of the first 12 terms. So again, we do 2 multiplied by 1 minus 3 to the power of 12 over 1 minus 3. And this should give us 531,440. 531,440. Now, the final question we have is a bit more, bit harder, I guess, than the previous ones. So given the series 6, 3, 1.5, 0.75, at first you would think the common ratio would be it's being divided by 2. However, the rule of geometric progression is that it can only be a sequence of numbers which increase or decrease by a multiplied number. So the multiplied common ratio must be 0.5. So our first term for this is 6. Our common ratio is 0.5. And the first question asks us to find the 6th term of this sequence. So to do that, we use the formula up here again. So we use first term, which is 6, multiplied by our common ratio, 0.5 to the power of 6 minus 1, which gives us 0.1875. 875. And the second one is 6 multiplied by common ratio, which is 0.5 to the power of 12 minus 1. And that gives us 2.93 times 10 to the power minus 3. 93 times 10 to the power minus 3. Now, just like we did in the previous questions, we have, because the question is different, so it's asking for the sum of the first 5 terms, we have to use this formula up here. And so we would do A, which is 6, multiplied by 1 minus 0.5 to the power of 5 divided by 1 minus 0.5. That should give us 11.625. And the last question is the sum of the first 10 terms. So 6 multiplied by 1 minus 0.5 to the power of 10 divided by 1 minus 0.5, which should give us 11.988. As you can see,